So today we're going to be talking about factoring a trinomial, x squared plus bx plus c. And this is going to be part one because there's a couple of different ways that factoring can work out with this trinomial. Go ahead and take a moment, label your notes factoring, Unit 5A, Homework 2 with the appropriate date, and set up for questions or comments on the right side of your paper before beginning. So we've been determining the product of binomials since the last unit. And once again, we can either FOIL or set up box method, and we know that we get x squared plus 8x plus 15 when we multiply x plus 5 times x plus 3. And we've talked about a couple of different patterns in class. We know that when we add 5 and 3 together, we get 8, which is our b term. And when we multiply 5 and 3, we get 15, which is our c term. Let's take a look at another example. X plus 1 times x plus 6 gives me x squared plus 7x plus 6. Similar patterns that we've seen. Once again, 1 and 6 when added together give me 7, which represents the b term or the middle term. And 1 times 6 gives me 6, which represents my c term. So those patterns are going to be key in helping us factor trinomials. Go ahead and take a moment now, pause, copy before continuing on. So in our first example, we're going to talk about when the values of b and c are both positive. So we're looking at plus signs here. So we want to be able to factor x squared plus 12x plus 32. Now this is going to all hinge on the identity of the factors of c, which would be 32. So we're going to start with what we learned from last class, is find all the factors of 32. We'll start with 1 times 32, 2 times 16, and 4 times 8. Now the next one I would get would be 8 times 4, which is the reverse of this, so I think we're done with our factors of 32. Now all of these factors multiply to give me 32, but I need the factors that will add to give me 12. So what I'm looking for are two factors that when multiply give me 32 and add to give me b, or 12. And that's going to be 4 plus 8. So 4 times 8 equals 32, 4 plus 8 equals 12. Now I can take these two factors of 4 and 8 and I can write them as a binomial product. I'm going to take 4 and I'll write it as x plus 4. And then I take 8 and I write it as x plus 8. And now I can check to make sure my factors do indeed give me this trinomial. So x times x gives me x squared. X times 8 gives me 8x. 4 times x gives me 4x. And 4 times 8 gives me 32. Go ahead and combine like terms of 8 plus 4. And that gives me x squared plus 12x plus 32. So one of the things you're looking for, once again, you want to find your factors of c. And in those factors, two of those factors should add to give you your value of b. And once again, make sure you do the check it step to verify that the binomials that you picked do indeed give you that trinomial piece. Take a moment, pause, copy before continuing on. So using that example, I'd like you to try 1 through 4, factor these, and tell me what my binomial products would be. And then try a little example of how this would be applied with regards to a rectangle. Go ahead and pause now, try it out before continuing on to the answers. Now, if you have problems getting any of these answers, you want to go ahead and make sure you make a note of it, and be sure to ask questions when you come to class next. I'll see you in class.